Yo, every Wednesday night, you better tune in tight. At 7 p.m. CST, we bring in that insight. Halas Hall Report, best podcast in the game. Stats and facts, you'll remember the name. Host Ken Dub got the knowledge on lock. Co-host Woody the Bear fan, talking all that talk. 3 Bear fans chilling, opinions on the side. We're here for the love, riding that Bear pride. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the skies. Lions think they're fierce with Dan Campbell's call, but all that greed ain't gonna help them at all. Same old story, we know how it goes. They just can't compete, everybody knows. Minnesota Vikings always talking smack, but when it's game day, they ain't got the knack. Sitting on the couch while we're making a stand. Over here in Chi-Town, we're the best in the land. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the sky. Packer fans yell blow pack blow, but can't see the truth. We're stealing the show. Rivalry heated, but we stay real cool. Halas Hall Report, yeah, that's the rule. With every episode, we build that hype. Stats and team news, we got the right type. Fan base strong, we ain't looking back. 2025, it's a win and attack. So gather round fans, put your hands in the air. Every Wednesday night, we're breathing that bear. Join the revolution, watch the magic unfold. Halas Hall Report, we're breaking the mold. Halas Hall, we break it down right. Join us on the journey from day to night. Blue and orange army taking over the scene. 2025's the year, know what we mean. Bear fans unite, it's our time to rise. Sunday mornings, pre-game vibes in the sky. So mark your calendars, don't miss a beat. Every Wednesday night, Halas Hall can't be beat. Stats, facts, team news on deck. Halas Hall Report, what did you expect? 2025, the Bears are here to stay. Blue and orange in the north, leading the way.
Yeah! Monsters of the Midway, we back in the game! Bears rising up! Hit a roar! Feel the flames! Yo! Monsters of the Midway, we back in the game! Dan Johnson leading Bear Packet formation, taking over the noise, feel the domination. Lost to the Packers, but now we ain't done. We rise from the ashes like the blazing sun. Cold winds blowing, we ain't scared, we thrive. Caleb's launching bombs, watch those rockets fly. 300 yards deep, in that they get degrees. Ain't nothing but a challenge, we do it with ease. Monsters of the Midway, ready to attack. Bears on the hunt, ain't no turning back. We rip the Browns, take them down like a pro. Next week on the Rivals, we steal the show. Rock. Monsters of the Midway, we steal the show. Monsters of the Midway. I got my cheese grater reppin' on my gear. Watch me scream, blow, back, blow, let them hear. At the throne we stand tall, trust in the grind. Bears take revenge, leave those Packers behind. Packers think they tough, but they can't handle the heat. We storm like a thunder, they can't take the defeat. All my boys in blue, warriors all around. When the game starts, feel the rage hit the ground. Monsters of the Midway, ready to attack. Bears on the hunt, ain't no turning back. We rip the Browns, take them down like a pro. Next week on the Rivals, we steal the show. Monsters of the Midway, we steal the show. Monsters of the Midway, we back in the game. Watch us collide with the might. Bears battling hard, feel the fire ignite. Ben brings the strength, Caleb wins uptight. We dominate this field, raise a bear light. Mike the Bear fan got the final word. We're coming back stronger, can't be deterred. Monsters of the Midway, you know we don't play. Get ready for battle, it's our game day. Monsters, we back. Yeah, Monsters of the Midway. Monsters, we back. Yeah, Monsters of the Midway. Monsters of the Midway, ready to attack. Bears on the hunt, ain't no turning back. We rip the Browns, take them down like a pro. Next week on the Rivals, we still better bet. You better bet. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Good gets better. Good gets better. Anybody gets better. Anybody gets better. Bears on 3. What goes right?
Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday night edition of Halas Hall Report. I'm Ken the Bear fan with Woody Bear Down. How you doing this evening, Woody?
Good. I just can't believe in that video, that handsome guy in that Briggs jersey drinking away their shots, boy. Oh, that's me. Forgot it.
Oh, that's the only
I'm
reason
doing
you like
all right.
the video, I swear.
Doing,
I swear.
yeah, too bad I couldn't see it because something's wrong with my browser, but okay, got it.
So, hey, we're back in first.
By a half game. Yep. It's exciting, but this division and this NFC conference, anything could happen. I mean, Bears being first in the NFC North, believe it or not, they could be kicked out of the playoffs if they don't do good these last 3 games. We'll see what happens.
So, yeah, real quick. Obviously, none of us won the signed photo. Good evening, Cam.
No.
I won't even say I'm the closest, but I did say that'd be at least a 2-score game. So at least I got that piece right. It was at least a 2-score game. We just kind of blew the Browns out of the water. Here are the scenarios, real quick. The Bears win this week, and the Lions lose. We're in. Period. End of story. We're guaranteed a spot. We obviously, unlike the Packers, well, the Packers do too. The Bears and the Packers each control their own destiny. We obviously have a half game advantage, so we have a little bit more wiggle room than the Packers do. The Lions, though, if they lose this weekend, they're not out, because if we beat the Packers, then they're still only a half game behind the Packers. So it gets interesting there. But let's real quick go over Sunday's game, because unlike our normal Wednesday, we're going to do Sunday's game and then go to fast forward to this Saturday's game. Mike, who's not here, did leave us a present, and I think I'll throw this up real quick for you to talk about. Player of the week, NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
Yep, DeMarco Jackson, where our tough spots were with the injuries with Edmonds. Edwards was back, and he was all over the place. Interception, sack, well deserved for that defense.
I have to say, the additions that Foles has made during the season, DeMarco Jackson, Gardner Johnson, both of them have been huge impact players, and he pulled them off the heat.
Deshaun Wright.
Deshaun Wright, right? That was before the season, but Deshaun Wright, knowing we were going to need a corner, and he's leading the league in takeaways, or tied with his teammate. Unbelievable. Unbelievable what this team has done. And going into the last 3 games, we're a little nicked up, and I'll throw up the injury report this week. Well, I'll wait. Let's talk about the Browns game. Offensively, the passing game was there overall.
Yeah, it was there. Some questionable throws, like I wouldn't throw, but that was a good pass to DJ Moore in the end zone in double coverage.
Did you feel you replied to the question on that throw?
I was like, "What are you doing?" Even though he caught it for the touchdown, you should have heard Jody. You could ask her, what the fuck is he throwing that for? Yeah, he caught it.
My initial response
was
kind of delayed. So I was like, "That's just intercepted," and all of a sudden, DJ Moore. I'm like, "Holy crap, he got that!" Just another one of the throws. And they asked Caleb after the game, and he's like, "I can make any throw. I like the swagger. I do. I like the swagger." The dude doesn't turn the ball over too often. So
Right.
I'm with you, but at the same time, I like the swagger.
Yeah, it's the confidence, that's a biggie thing that you need going into the end of the year and into the playoffs. But let's make some smart throws. Like that was like 2 weeks in a row. Last week against Green Bay, that was Zacchaeus catch, which that was a gun. That guy should have intercepted that. I would have never thrown that. But he sees something there like we don't on TV as he sees it on the field.
Some numbers for this week. Let's see if I can get it better. Team stats.
But but it's
All right.
impressive that the Bears 30 takeaways this season. 30.
The Bears had 21 first downs.
Oh.
12 from passing, 8 from rushing, 1 from a penalty. Third down efficiency, they were 5 for 13. That needs to get a little bit better. Fourth down efficiency, they were 1 for 2. They ran 64 plays for 361 yards. They gave up only 192 yards to the Browns. We had 13 drives. They had 12. Our yards per play was 5.6. Theirs was 3.4. We had 219 yards passing. They're 142. Caleb was 17 of 28 for a 7.1 average per. No picks for Caleb. 3 picks for Shador. 3 sacks for 23 yards. Loss for us. 5. We got 5 sacks on them for 35 yards. Rushings, we had 142 yards rushing. Penalties, we had 4 for 25. Turnovers, none. They had 3.
And yeah, you brought up the rushing game. Any question about Swift is thrown out the window. That 17-yard run that he had, he broke 5 tackles. There's 5 missed tackles into the end zone. Yes, it's Cleveland. Yes, I understand. But going up against any team, which Cleveland had the second best defense or third, whatever.
Second best defense in the league, or number 2 defense in the league.
And
Swift,
he broke that for 17 yards.
18 carries, 98 yards with an average of 5.4 with 2 touchdowns. Monangai had 11 carries, 33 yards, and an average of 3 yards per carry. Caleb had 3 carries for 13 yards. Colson Loveland, 1 carry for 2 yards. Receiving, Luther Burden, 6 for 84, averaging 14. The long being a 40. DJ Moore, 4 for 69. Colson Loveland, 4 for 63. Cole Kmet, 2 for 28. DeAndre Swift, 1 for 2. Caleb lost a fumble, had a fumble, which he recovered. Sacks, we had DeMarco Jackson, Grady Jarrett getting his first sack of the year, Gervin Dexter Sr. getting a sack. Where are my other sacks at? And Austin Booker, 2 sacks.
Yep.
Now look at that offensive line was beat up. Now, but I mean the Bears dominated both sides of the ball. That was the most complete looking game you've seen, but it's Cleveland. I mean, how much credit do we give the Bears, or how much credit do we give the Bears for? I mean, we got to give them credit for the win. Give them credit for being a team they should beat. Give them credit for dominating, but I don't want to overblow it. You know what I mean?
No, Packers fans were saying that they're going to kill us because they beat them. But we scored 31 points off Cleveland. They scored 10. Yeah. So I'm not going to blow it up either, because obviously that was towards the earlier part of the year. Obviously Packers offense got a lot better with the season going on. But yeah, I'm not going to blow it. Oh my God, we beat Cleveland. Holy shit. Yeah, no, I'm not going to do it.
I mean, it does put us in the driver's seat. If we win out, obviously no one can touch us. If we win out, our final 3 being the Packers, the Niners, and then Detroit at home in January. The playoff scenarios are weird. Basically, there's 2 teams left in the hunt. Only one of those is viable. The other one's pretty much whoever wins the NFC South gets in. Right?
Yep.
Carolina or Tampa, their only shot is to win the division. So that leaves the Lions. The Lions being the odd man out right now, a half game behind the Packers, a full game behind the Bears. If the Bears win this week and the Lions lose, we're guaranteed a playoff spot, but then they still have their 2 games remaining. Each of those teams will play the Vikings once. And then Green Bay gets the Ravens and the Vikings, finish with the Vikings. Is it the Ravens?
Yes.
Yeah. And then Detroit gets the Vikings, then us. So not easy for either team. They have similar schedule. If the Packers win one more game, one of their last 3, they're pretty much in. The The first one to win 2 maybe might be. After this week, they'll obviously change a little bit. But look at the Bears win. We're pretty much in, right? I mean, we're at house money, so I'm happy either way. But and right now we're looking at the number 2 seed. So here are the 2 playoff scenarios. They're most likely. If the Bears end up at the number 2 seed, we'll either get Green Bay at home in the wild card round. If we're the number 2 seed and the Lions get in, we play the Lions 2 weeks in a row. Both at home.
And that's if the Rams win out, because
right.
we're
That's
only a game behind them.
That's if we don't get the number 1 seed, if we get the playoffs, all those ifs. But and exactly, we'll see what happens. But to be the Bears, to be us, the Bears, at this point in the season, having these kinds of discussions after the last 3 years we've had,
Yep.
I'm not mad.
No, it looks like we might be playing a fellow NFC North team in the first round. If the Packers win, if the Packers win a division, we'll probably get 7th seed if it all works out. So that will be interesting as well.
Unless we get the 7th, unless we get in as the wild card, but we beat San Francisco, then we might be the 6th seed. It's kind of you get some weird scenarios, but pretty much it's between 8 teams for 7 slots right now.
Right.
So looking at this week's game, which is huge on many levels, here's today's injury report. No Rome, no Luther right now, but and then no Almond. Edmonds was limited. Komet was limited. DeAndre Swift limited. We're used to that. And then, of course, everyone else was full. Odunze, though, it sounds like for Odunze, they're wanting to hold him back. Like, he could go, right? But they kind of want to hold him back. That's kind of the vibe I got from listening to Ben Johnson.
I think whatever happens to Burden. Now, if Burden's out, having Burden and Odunze out for Saturday's game against Green Bay, that might change. That might mix some stuff up.
Obviously, it makes it easier on Green Bay because they can double up on DJ. But, Zach is capable. Duvernay's made some catches. We haven't really seen anything from Jahadi Walker.
Right. I seen him on some special teams. When Dunze was out last week, I seen him in a couple plays. And oh God. Yeah, I just heard Broski.
Yeah, we heard about the Gary Bears take too. I was alive in the 80s and remember that. And we can talk about that in a minute, bro.
But go Pack go. I that might hurt your defense a little bit, but the way Jordan Love played against us last week, his accuracy was on point. So it might be a shootout, but I think next man up for Green Bay, like Gary, I'd put, I know we have the most takeaways, but I would put Green Bay's defense over us right now, obviously. But it's going to be Jordan Love's game. It's the way he plays. I mean, if it's going to be a shootout or not, it's all about Jordan Love.
So, like, Komet and Burden, they sound like they're kind of sounds like they're going to play, right? Komet practiced limited. Burden didn't practice on the ankle. This time of year, that's not surprising, to be honest with you. If you want to talk about walking wounded, the Packers are the walking wounded right now, comparatively speaking. They also might be without Zach Tom. It looks like Christian Watson practiced. That's good news for them. So yeah, they might have the receivers, but yeah, Zach Tom. They might be without him, and you're without Micah Parsons. Next man up for Micah, to replace Micah Parsons isn't going to be. You would think would not be anywhere close to what he produces. So that's going to give Caleb more time. The injuries are an issue for both teams. The Packers escaped Chicago, in Green Bay, really, because we were in position. We screwed that up. This is going to be still a tight game, but have it being in Chicago with what's on the line, I kind of, the Bears still getting completely disrespected by Vegas and ESPN and everyone else. That's bulletin board material. Um, I gotta think the Bears are gonna come out running hard.
Yeah, and I like what Grady Jarrett said. He's like, for the Bears fans, you got to rock this house. This has got to be shaken. You guys got to show up or shut up.
That's
That
been
was
the theme.
yeah.
That's been the theme this week. I've seen that from several players about fans turning up this week.
But either way, it's a division game. You could be 0-16. You could be 16-0. Division game. It's always, well, it's not like the first Lions Bears game. Hopefully this year, but it's usually a dogfight between division teams.
Yeah, it should be. It should be a dogfight. I mean, I'm just like I said. I am just not. I can't believe that the Bears are the underdogs at home in this game. I'm just like, it just I scratch my head at the sheer disrespect shown to us by Vegas.
Now, do you think that is because people aren't sold on Caleb yet? I mean,
Maybe.
five fourth quarter comebacks this year, leading the league. With his
ESPN has a
QBR and
matchup predictor with Chicago having a 41% chance of winning, Green Bay a 58.6% chance.
wow,
According to their analytics. But here's the thing, though. Their analytics, I almost will guarantee you, because of the trends and everything these guys look at, deal with Micah Parsons being in that lineup. And without Micah Parsons that lineup, that's a big piece to be missing from that defense. More than Roma Dunze missing for the Bears offense.
Well, what was his stats the first Bears game? Because we knew he didn't have a sack. I just want to see
no sacks, but he was creating pressure. He was making Caleb uncomfortable. Caleb still gets no love, but you know what? Let me download this.
Well, go Pack go! If Browns were so easy, you guys should have beat them, right?
Yeah. And
people make those comments. I said hats off to Green Bay. They're probably the most approved team. I swear to God, they have the youngest team in the NFL. I'm not mocking them all. I respect them all. Hell, I'm scared of Saturday's game.
This argument sucks, and here's why. The Packers defense last year without Micah Parsons was top 5. You had Clay Clark in the middle.
Yeah,
now you don't.
Here we go at last year's shit.
It's different personnel than last year. I don't care what your defense was like. Different personnel.
Right.
Oh, look, but the Browns were different back then they are right now. Yeah, they were worse. Anywho, this is an interesting fact.
Yep. 1,000 passes.
Hey, look at that list who's on it, right? Yep. Burrow, Lawrence, Derek Carr was kind of surprising. Jeff Garcia, Mahomes, Stroud, guys that everyone gushes over. Bo Nix, they all gush over, but Caleb gets no love.
Well, most of them are throwaways or sacks. You know what I mean?
Caleb does throw the ball away quite a lot this year, and I like it. That's why you're not really hearing Ben say anything about the 70% benchmark. Because when you watch, like last week, half his incomplete passes were throwaways. I'm like, I'm okay with that. Oh, the excuse train for Green Bay keeps running.
Injuries are part of the game. We had no linebackers for the last fucking 7 weeks, buddy. I don't want to hear about players being hurt and not being on this team. Look at backup linebacker got defensive player of the week for the NFC.
Yep.
I'm telling you, I'm holding my composure.
Well, the Packers are trying to make this that like if they lose the game, well, it's because Micah was out. If they win the game, oh look how bad you are. We're without Micah. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too, like they always do. Just like last year when we beat them in Week 18. Well, it's because we were resting people. Okay. There's always an excuse to Packer fans when they lose. There's always this. Well,
Well,
we when we played the Cowboys, they were much better than when you played them. You played them the week after us.
and what I said about last week, week 18. So you're saying that we beat them on their backup, so they don't have depth?
I'm just like, I'm just like, look, this is gonna be a good game. I think the Bears are getting disrespected by Vegas. I think if it's gonna be a toss up, you make it Bears 3, which is basically the field goal you give everyone. But by saying Packers 1.5, you're clearly telling Chicago, no, you're losing this game. We have no faith in you. I'm like, dude, we almost pulled it out in Green Bay in a game where in the first half we didn't even show up. I mean, on one hand, I don't mind it though, Woody. You know what I'm saying? Because even last week, Packer fans, oh, you guys are going to get stomped by the Browns. You guys are going to lose. You guys are frauds. You can't beat anybody. Well, guess what? We won again and we blew them out. Every week they tell us you can't win, and then we go out and we do it. So keep telling the Bears they can't win. Keep telling the Bears they're frauds. Keep telling the Bears they don't deserve to be there. Keep telling the Bears all these things, and we'll just keep winning games. That's the way I'm looking at it now. I'm in bonus time. I wasn't supposed to be here, right? We weren't supposed to be in this conversation. We were thinking maybe I got laughed at by Packer fans when I said we were a dark horse contender to be a wild card team. Packer fans straight up laughed at us. So you know what? I'm in bonus time. I'm loving this.
Yeah, because everybody was laughing, like saying, "Oh my God, Bears are gonna have 9 wins. You're fucking nuts." Well, I said 9 wins. I said we're not be 9-8.
Yeah, I was between 8 to 10, and we're at 10 already. So keep telling us no. Keep telling us we can't. Laugh at us when we say, "Hey, we they could be a dark horse possibility for the playoffs," and you all laughed. And well, who's the number 2 seed coming into Week 16? In year 1 of Ben Johnson, the offense isn't even the full offense yet. That's what's scary. Like this is just the start of Ben Johnson. Defense
And the
got
last
work to do.
and the last 6 Packers NFC Championship games they lost. Oh, did I say that?
You did.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm scared of this game, even though it's at home. I'm fucking scared. It's even if it wasn't a division game, the Packers, there's something special. I mean, a couple years ago, Matt LaFleur, youngest team to ever win a playoff game. You got to respect that right off the tee. And then people are saying, Matt LaFleur is shit, blah blah blah, fire him, blah blah blah. I was like, why? Look what's happening.
Yeah. There were quite a few Packer fans who were like, if they would have lost that New York game, we're ready for him to be fired.
Yeah.
The game they had to go to overtime to win.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, you won the game. I think LaFleur's been a good coach for them. And I give them their props, sure enough. But I think it's disrespectful the way the Bears are being treated coming into this game. Which, once again, great. Bulletin board material for the Bears. You got the number 1 rush offense in the league. You've got the number 1 offense since they came off their bye in the league. You got the most takeaways in the league. You lead in takeaway differential in the league. And you get 0 respect. And before Packer fans say, yeah, but we don't turn the ball over much. Well, you did last time we played you. Teams always, for some reason, turn the ball over with Chicago. Because Chicago, that's the way they play defense. Philly, before that game, Jalen Hurts like, well, luckily we're the best team in football at not turning the ball over. He had 2 turnovers in that game.
Yep, and he had 2 total the whole year.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, like, I think it's disrespectful the way the Bears are being treated. And I don't want to disrespect the Packers either because they are a good football team. I think they got something. They're going to have to. They're going to come in wanting to prove a little something too. Because Micah being out doesn't mean, oh, woe is me. No, they're going to want to prove that they're a good team without Micah, right? And I get that. They're going to come in fired up because they want to prove that they can win without Micah Parsons. And quite honestly, they have to come in that way. And I would expect nothing less of them but to come in that way. But the Bears need to come in even more pissed off than they are. because
Yep.
it's just a continual. Everyone gives, oh my God, New England is such a great team. They have an easier schedule than the Bears did.
Yep. And they had a 21-point lead against Buffalo last week, their division rival,
Yeah.
and they lost.
So, yeah, Cam, I agree with you 100%, man. Keep telling us we can't win games. Keep disrespecting us. Fine. We'll give you all the respect. Like, go Pack, go. Respect. I respect the Pack. I respect what you guys are doing. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think the Bears, Chicago, and Green Bay make the playoffs. To be honest with you, I think those are the two teams that go in. Who wins the division? Like, a lot of that will be determined this week.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, the Packers don't exactly have an easy schedule with the Ravens and the Vikings. The Vikings, while their record sucks, they just beat a very good Dallas team last week, and they're playing spoiler. They're letting some things fly. They're letting caution fly to the wind. They're playing free. Like, honestly, Minnesota is very dangerous right now because they're playing free. Broncos will be in the Super Bowl. That's a hot take.
Why? Because they beat Green Bay last week? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Why do you think Broncos hell of a team? They're a little sketchy here and there. They had to score 33 points in the fourth quarter at home to beat the Giants. I think they're going to make it far, but I don't know. I still said in the beginning of the year, I said Bills, Rams in the Super Bowl. If Bills come on at the end of the year and they get hot going into the playoffs, watch out for Buffalo, man. I'm telling you.
Oh, it's probably way buried up there, isn't it? Yeah, one of my buddies on X had a prediction for the Final Four. Let me see if I can find it really quick. I mean, Denver, their defense is what carries them.
Yeah.
Bo Nix makes some decent plays now and
Yeah.
then, but yeah, it's their defense really carries them. Let me see if I can find this message. The Final Four, there are people who are starting to say Chicago now. There are some people that are starting to talk about Chicago being in that picture.
What
But
picture?
then there's the people, the NFC Championship game stuff like that.
Well.
I know you had Bears, Rams. I think his Final Four were Bears, Rams, Denver, and Buffalo. I think that was his Final Four. It was either Buffalo or New England. Either way, that's an interesting Final Four.
And Buffalo beat New England in a tough fucking stadium too. So again, division rival. They always play tough in either team stadiums, but that was pretty impressive coming back from 21-0 and beating a division rival on the road. Yes, go Pack, go. I don't want oh boy, that's where we agree. I don't want the E-girls in it either, but seems like they'll get in because the lack of that shitty fucking division.
Buffalo, man, if they get hot, and last week is a good way to get hot. That win they had. Be careful of Buffalo. If they get hot, they could steamroll the AFC.
Yep.
That quarterback, yeah. If I look at the potential quarterbacks going into the playoffs, in the NFC, there are two quarterbacks that absolutely do not trust to carry their teams deep into the playoffs. Purdy is one, and the other is Sam Darnold. Right? In the AFC, I don't necessarily trust Bo Nix yet. I'm getting there, but I don't necessarily trust him. But if of any quarterback in the AFC, Josh Allen can put the whole team on his back and will them to an AFC championship game.
And that's a big game this week, Seattle and the Rams. So that whoever winner of that will be number 1 seed.
Yeah. I mean, they won't be decided this week, but we may get some clarity, right? Like in the NFC, we can get clarity if the Bears win and the Lions lose. Or actually, if the Lions lose, it has to be a Bears win for this to happen. If the Bears win and the Lions lose, well, no, we won't get full clarity because then there'll still be a half game. It might come down to week 18 to decide who's going in from the NFC. Which two teams from the NFC are going?
To sum it up, Bears got to win 2 to win the division.
It's a combination, but yeah, win 2 would be the easiest.
The
Win 2 would be
Broncos used to straight up suck. Used to be.
like if the Bears win the next 2 weeks, then they can pretty much take week 18 off. Pretty much, unless they're
Yeah.
playing for the number 1 seed.
Oh man, I do not want that number 1 seed.
But yeah, the number 1 seed, obviously, if you can get the number 1 seed, you don't have to worry about facing Green Bay or Detroit the first week of the playoffs. Because the one thing that sucks about either scenario, where we're the 7 seed, and be it Detroit or Green Bay, let's say, or we're the 2 seed, and if Green Bay or Detroit's the 7 seed if it's Green Bay, that's 3 games in 6 weeks. If it's Detroit, that's 2 games in 2 weeks. Both scenarios kind of suck. Just playing teams so close together.
So I'm going to tell everybody, we got a lot of viewers on here, and we'll talk about this towards the end of the show because we're going to be previewing the Bears-Packers game. Start putting your predictions in there, and I'm interested in seeing all those predictions, and we'll see where we are.
But, once again, just to be able to be in this position, Woody, where we're talking about possible playoff scenarios.
Amazing.
Yeah. I am not, and after Packer fans and especially Lions and Packer fans, oh, you guys don't have a shot. You don't have a chance. Vikings fans tell us, well, you're going to be in the basement again. You suck. Here we are, coming into week 16, top of the division, number 2 seed in the NFC, thinking, wow, unless we go 0-3 and the Lions win out, we're in.
Well, I liked the beginning of the year when people said, oh, the Bears are the off-season champions. I don't know.
Yeah, Packers-Bears could happen again. Well, look, it will happen again if they both get in. Even if we're the 1 seed, we'll end up seeing the Packers. If the Packers win the wild card round, then we'd see the Packers the very next week in Chicago for the divisional round. Last time the Bears made it to the playoffs would be
18.
No,
17.
19.
That was double doink.
No, that was not the last. Was that the last time? No, that wasn't the last time the Bears made the playoffs. The last time was when we played NOLA. Because 2020, yeah. We played NOLA in the wild card round, and we had a dropped touchdown. Beautiful ball from Trubisky. Got dropped in the end zone, and then the Bears fell apart after that play. So it's been 5 years.
Was that the Allen Robinson drop?
No, it wasn't Allen Robinson who dropped it. I can't remember who dropped it. Yeah, I don't think you're going to tell me if I look it up. But I remember that very clearly that he had a nice, beautiful long ball, and dropped in the end zone, and then the Bears' offense fell apart right after that.
Well, yeah, we play them next week in San Fran.
The Niners, man, that's a team.
Quiet, very quiet.
Held together by duct tape and bubble gum. Yeah, I mean, really, you look at them like, how are they winning? But they just aren't.
They lost their best defensive player, Fred Warner, and I was like, yeah, they're done. I'm not sold on Brock Purdy. McCaffrey's doing all right this year. So it's a team. It seems like it's more of a team in San Francisco, all aspects of the level of a team. But they're very quiet at 10-4.
The NFC, in terms of who's winning the playoffs, it's pretty simple. There's 8 teams for 7 slots. That part is simple. The seeding is where it's going to get really rough. If Seattle wins, they'll go to 12-3. If the Bears win, we go to 11-4. So we're still technically back, right? But then Seattle will take over the number 1 seed.
Yep.
And the Rams go back. If San Francisco wins this week, they're 11-4 as well. Now, if we beat San Francisco next week, we go to 12 wins, so we owe a tiebreak. The only team out there we wouldn't have a tiebreak with is Seattle, because we didn't play them this year.
So it goes by division.
So I mean, yeah. So I mean, before we won last week, we had moved up to the 6th seed. So there is a scenario where the Packers or the Bears, if they're not the, if you get in, you could be the 6th or 7th seed most likely, right? But right now, it's most likely the 7th seed, is what it's looking like. But yeah, there's some movement that can, like the Eagles are going to be in the 3 seed, the Bucks are going to, or the Bucks are the, or the Panthers will be in the 4 seed. It's basically the 1 and 2 seed and the 7 and 8 seed, or the 6 and 7 seed are really what's going to be up. And then, of course, who's sending 3 teams in? Because there is a scenario where the North could still send 3 teams, but it's kind of slim. But at least the playoff picture is a little more clear in the NFC than maybe the AFC.
Let's go. I want to see some predictions.
Yeah, let's get
Bears,
some predictions
Packers,
for Bears,
Saturday night.
Packers.
A lot of people watching. Let's go. Just type it in there.
I know we probably have some people on Rumble, like Broski. Broski's watching on Rumble right now,
Broski for the Moski.
unless he had to log off.
Yes, we did hear about the Bears moving to Indiana. Lewis. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're not moving to Indiana. I mean, here's what Warren said. And he didn't specifically say Indiana, but that's what everyone's taking it as. Yeah, but you're not the underdog in this game, brother.
No,
You're
1.5.
1.5 point favorite. He said that they're keeping their options open. And what that, I mean, and I understand why people are saying Indiana. Here we go. The first prediction is a Packer fan, of course.
Thank you for that.
Yep. He said, I mean, because the state of Illinois, Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson, and they say there will be no state money given to the Bears. Another Packer fan, 28-24. That one's a little more respectable.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Barry. That's the Bears trying to, they're saying, oh, it's very clear. This isn't for leverage. No, it's for leverage. They want the state to pony up some money.
Yep.
But Pritzker's too busy fighting other battles to care about whether or not the Bears move out of his state or not. We saw this in the 80s with the Gary Bears thing being flattened, where they were going to build a stadium in Gary, which is interesting because over 75% of the fan base lives in the northwest suburbs. It would almost make more sense to build a new stadium in Kenosha, to be honest with you.
So what do they do with Arlington? What do they do with Arlington Heights now, since we own the land?
Well, they own it. Well, that's it. Because he very specifically mentioned Cook County, so it looks like the county isn't wanting to give them some breaks and stuff. So hey, they can move it to Lake County. They could put it in Lake Forest. They don't have to stay in Cook County. They can go to Lake County. That's still Chicago suburbs. So he was look at the words that Warren said. He said, Cook County, keeping our options open. Yep. 21-31 Bears for Lewis. Thank you, Lewis, for that prediction. And don't forget on Saturday to go to Mike the Bear Fan. You should have a post up and put your predictions there. If you get the score 100% correct, you can win. What's the signed photo this time?
Tyreek Stevenson.
Tyreek Stevenson signed 8x10. Yep, there we go. So if you look at the language, in fact, hold on here. Let me pull it up and there it is. I'll read you what he said.
Well, I have that thing in the house hall when I send it to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm pulling up. Okay, here's what he said. Kevin Warren said the team is expanding its stadium search across the Chicagoland area and Northwest Indiana. Quote, this is not about leverage. We spent years trying to build a new home in Cook County. We invested in significant time and resources evaluating multiple sites and rationally decided on Arlington Heights. Our fans deserve a world-class stadium. Our players and coaches deserve a venue that matches the championship standard they strive for every day. With that in mind, our organization must keep every credible pathway open to deliver that future, end quote. Part of that to me says Cook County is bending the knee to the city of Chicago, and they're saying, we're not going to give you any tax breaks if you move out of the city. The state doesn't want to give them any money to build a stadium. But if they go to Lake County, Lake County's like, yeah, we'll give you all the tax breaks you want. and there's land they can buy there. Northwest Indiana, Gary's like, we'll give you the land, we'll give you tax breaks, and the state's like, we'll give you tax breaks too. Having 2 NFL franchises in Indiana, oh yeah, they love that. They understand. Barry says if he wins, he'll
Oh,
donate to a Bears fan.
I always take donations. Barry,
Same
just
here.
make sure you put your score prediction and Mike the Bear fan or Chicago Bears news under the headline.
And Go Pack Go, whose name I always forget because he's told us twice and I always forget it. I'm sorry, brother. He wants to know what's our prediction.
All right. Well, I said I picked the Packers to win last week. I'm off by 1 point again. I always said it was going to be a home and home this week, or the Packers games. So I'm going to go 27-21 Chicago.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bears as well. I thought it'd be in a way, but Woody was right and I was wrong. That happens now and then. But no, I'm gonna take the Bears as well this week. I think the run game of Chicago is the bigger reason. Both running backs for the Packers are on the injury report right now. Vinny, there we go. Vinny. Oh, it's like my cousin Vinny. It's our cousin Vinny, the Packers fan.
Oh, he's a two Utes.
He's a two Utes guy. Yeah. Vinny, I will try to remember it. I'm so terrible with names. Cam is going 27-16 Bears.
Wow.
Yeah, Cam, I'm looking close to that. Let me think here really quick. Not going to be a good day for kicking field goals probably in Chicago. What's the weather going to be? See if they give me a weather report for Saturday. It's going to be probably cold, even though like down here in Florida, oh my God, it was gorgeous today. It was absolutely gorgeous today here in Florida. Let me see. They're not giving me a weather report.
Let me see.
Yeah, I got to check another app because ESPN is just telling me where the game's on.
All right, so we'll go Chicago.
Third Saturday night. The high is going to be 40. The low is going to be 25. So
Not bad.
no, but by the time we get to game
Sunset.
time, it's at 7:20. Be in the 20s. So it'll be somewhere around the 20s. So it's going to be cold. So the kicking game probably won't be there for either team.
Nope.
I'm going to go 31-21 Bears. I'm going to make it a 2-score game. And I'm going to say that basically they're going to go up a touchdown, get a stop, and Cairo Santos will hit a field goal to seal it in the fourth quarter. Because that's how you hit most of these 2-score games. You get a stop, you get down there. Okay. So that's what how I'm going to do.
I just hope he makes it.
Yeah. It's going to be a bad kicking day. That might be the only field goal that would be good. I have a feeling there'll be a missed field goal or two in that game. But I think the Bears' running game is where it's at. And look at Caleb and Jordan can both throw in the wind. I think both of them have that capability. They're one of a handful of quarterbacks. Like Mahomes can do it. These guys can throw through that wind. They can throw through the conditions. But I think look at this is the time of year you win by running the football. And the Bears are a better running team. And the Bears' defense has gotten much better at stopping the run.
I want to see some more predictions. Geez, we only got 4 predictions.
The Bears held Judkins to a very low number last
10 for 18?
Yeah, which killed my fantasy league, by the way. Killed me. I lost it. I couldn't believe I lost, but Judkins had no points. The Cleveland could not run on that Bears defense. And Judkins is a good running back.
Absolutely. Yep.
And he got Judkins. They're rushing last week. Sanders led them with 24 yards. Judkins, 12 carries for 21 yards with an average of 1.8. Bears.
If if it wasn't for those 2 long bombs, the Bond, man, they would have had any offense.
Vinny's got 37-21.
That's 2 predictions from him. What the fuck are you doing, Vinny?
Vinny's just trying to make sure we know.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Why would you not want the first seed?
It's something about taking that. Yeah, I mean, I think the only reason why I would want the first seed, number 1 seed, is to rest our injured players.
Like,
But
if you have a bunch of people, like if you're the Packers and you can get a bunch of people back from injury, cool. But if you're the Bears, I think we're going to get everyone back by the first week of the playoffs anyways. There is something to be said to continue playing, because the argument's this, that teams that get the bye week a lot, you see a overwhelmingly fair majority of the time, they come out rusty and that number 1 seed loses. Now, conversely, though, how many Super Bowls have we seen where both number 1 seeds are in the Super Bowl? We also see that quite a bit. So it's a big. That's a 50. That's like the argument: do you rest your starters in week 18 or do you play it?
Well, it hurt us in 12 when we had that first round bye, and then Packers beat the E-Girls and they came back and smacked us. I don't know. I think that's the only advantage, is to rest your injured players. I don't know. For some reason, I don't like that bye, especially last year. I mean, look at the Lions. There were high hopes going into the playoffs, Super Bowl, blah blah blah.
Came out
and
flat.
then I just don't like the number 1 seed. I don't. I know you only have to win 2 games to get to the Super Bowl, but again, I keep saying this. It's usually the hottest team going into the playoffs that make a splash.
Yeah.
There you go.
And you look at who's hot right now.
Here we go with Vinny's fucking comment. Jesus Christ. Here we go. Oh, man.
Oh, geez.
Here we go.
There we go.
Oh, really?
What do we need to get, like maybe an outreach center or something for these guys?
Where, I don't know. That's just telling me that you have your backups suck. That's just what I'm saying.
We can call it PDS, Packer Derangement Syndrome.
Holy shit. All right, I'm good.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I mean, if you look at right now, the hot teams, Seattle's won 4, the Niners have won 4, the Rams have won 2, the Bears have won 1, the Eagles have won 1, Tampa's lost 2, Green Bay's lost 1, Detroit
and Tampa's in first place because of Carolina losing.
Yeah. So
what about what about the AFC?
Broncos have won 11 straight, Jacksonville 5, Chargers 3, Bills 3 in that game last week. Oh my God. The Texans 6.
Yeah.
They're all hot. In the NFC, the 2 hot teams by win streak are the Niners and the Seahawks.
Both of the same division.
I think it's like these last 3 games, man. If you stay hot these last 3 games and start clicking and doing some things, it's not about the last 10, it's about the last 5 or 6, maybe.
Vinny, I like cheese. Leave it alone.
Yeah, some melted cheese. Well, hell, the cheese would be hard as a rock. Did you see the video that's going around with the lady with the RC Cola at the Bears game last week? She had a bottle of RC Cola. She went to pour it in a cup. From the time she uncapped it to poured it, it became slush.
Oh boy!
And then it got so frozen, the slush didn't even come out. That's how cold it was at Soldier Field. Maybe we'll see Billy on Saturday or Sunday if he's thawed out. Well, Mike is here.
Yeah, I'm Woody, and that's Ken.
Yeah, did we play them last year?
I thought it was Justin Fields.
Justin was the last time. Yeah, I mean Caleb's been. I had nothing wrong with Caleb's performances last week. Did you, Woody? Overall?
No, just that questionable throw that actually worked out. No. Yeah,
but this way, I think more people are buying in on Caleb. I mean, you saw it the other day. I mean, Billy was wearing a Caleb jersey, and he's
on the train.
Not a Caleb guy. I think he's starting to win some folks like you and Billy over.
I don't know. I'm still getting my tickets, and I'm in line still. There you go.
Would you still have taken Jaden Daniels over Caleb, knowing what you know now
Man.
about Jaden's durability?
Um, see, the injuries that he had this year, you don't know if they would be on Chicago. I'm just comparing to the first year. You never know. Never know. Washington doesn't really have a good offensive line. We upgraded ours. So we don't know how Jaden Daniels would do with this offensive line rebuilt. So last year I say yes. This year I say, that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to go for a new quarterback, though. I think Shador is going to be their guy next year. I mean, we
Yeah,
beat
well,
him up pretty good, though.
it's
Look at the
funny.
Bears defense have very quietly over the last couple games been getting better as a unit.
Mhm.
Like in the Green Bay game, the pressure the pressure was there, but it wasn't there. There were still too many cases where Jordan had way too much time to throw the ball, but they've applied. But it was better than what we were against the Ravens, for example. So this defense is getting better as far as the front four getting pressure. Booker having 2 sacks last week was great. Maybe that's something he needed to jumpstart. I'm wondering how good. For me, the key to this game is not just the run game for Chicago, but can Green Bay apply pressure to Caleb without Micah Parsons? That's a question mark, and that's something Green Bay's got coming angry about. Right? They got to prove that they can do it. I don't know if they can. And we were top 5 defense last year doesn't hold any water because of a completely different personnel package. I mean, the Bears were a top 5 or 10 defense last year, completely different. The way things are run, different packages. So, I don't know.
Well, different coaches.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting as we get closer to Saturday Night Football, another primetime game. And then, of course, we're primetime against the Niners. And I have a feeling that the Lions game will be primetime too, especially if that's a win or go home game.
Yeah. If Lions have a chance to get in, I think that might be flexed.
Yeah, and I hate that. I'd rather that those 2 games be at noon. So the Lions have no idea what the Packers are doing and vice versa.
Because I don't like the fucking wait, Ken. I'm very patient person, but I don't want to wait.
So yeah, this weekend's game, the Bears need to do some things. Obviously, we got to keep an eye on our injury report. If Rome is out, but Luther's playing, I think he will. I'm not that concerned. I understand where the coaches are at. Like our odds of getting the playoffs, basically, you have to win 1 game to get in.
Yep.
Basically,
2 to win the division.
2 to win the division.
Yep.
I don't mind them being a little protective of Rome. I'd rather have Rome in the playoffs than Vernon this week.
Well, we have 2 minutes, but I would say he's in the running. A lot of people are going to say Vrabel or Ken, my partner, Duval.
Yeah. All 3 first-year coaches posting more than 10 wins. Yeah, those are the 3 guys in the conversation.
Yep.
Those are definitely the 3 guys in the conversation. 2 of them are first-time head coaches at that. Vrabel won it before as a first-time head coach. So I think Vrabel might be X'd out of the conversation because you kind of expect that from a guy who's won it before. It's interesting.
Oh, man.
Very well could lose to the Ravens, Barry. That's going to be an interesting game next week for both teams as well.
Yep.
And
that game in Baltimore? Is that game in Baltimore or Green Bay?
It's in Baltimore, I believe.
Ooh.
Yeah. That is going to be a very important game. Hold on, if I can get it before we run out of time.
Not easy to win there.
No, it's at home. The Ravens are coming to Green Bay.
Okay, yeah. All right.
We'll talk about that one next week. Guys, enjoy the game Saturday. Woody and I will be back Sunday for the post-game reaction to the Bears-Packers game. Don't forget Ken and Ken in the morning tomorrow and Friday. We'll probably do some more jaw-jacking. Guys, enjoy your week. Enjoy Saturday. We'll see you Sunday. Go Bears. Beat them. Frickin' Packers. FTP. I should do it right. FTP. Bear down, everyone. Have a good one.